はい。皆さん、こんにちは。今日は、I would like to introduce some more of our new kanji from chapter 16. So let's take a look at our first new kanji. This chapter, we are finally going to learn how to write watashi. And some of you might have already been able to write this kanji, watashi. But this is the first time it is introduced in Kanji Look and Learn, so we'll take a look at it. So this kanji, it starts with something that's a little bit like the kanji for tree, but it has this first stroke on the top. So don't forget the first stroke on the top. And after that, the part on the right is going to be the katakana, mu. So let's try writing together. This is watashi. We start with ichi, ni, san, 4, 5, 6, 7. Once again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And last time, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So now we can finally write watashi. Our next kanji is otto. We use this kanji to mean a husband, someone's husband. ですね. So this is the otto. It's also the fu in fufu, which we learned before. So これは1、2長いです. And then 3、4. もう一度1、2、3、4. 1、2、3、4と書きます。そう、これは音。Sorry about that. Our next kanji is a little bit more complicated, but we can still write it because it's just made up of little parts. This one is tsuma. Tsuma, which means like my wife, is tsuma. So we will write this kanji starting at the top with 1, 2, 3長いです. 4, 5. And then 1, 2, 3, we write onna at the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Tsuma. So this means like my wife. Our next kanji is shu. This is the shu in shujin. So shujin is another word that can mean husband. The difference, there is not like a big difference in terms of like the meaning between shujin and otto. Some people consider shujin to be a little bit more old-fashioned. So shujin means like your head of household, like the master of the house. And some people consider that to be maybe a little bit sexist as a way to refer to like a husband. So some people prefer to use otto to talk about their own husband rather than shujin. But either one works. So we start this one with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And one last time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this kanji also has another reading, omo. So we might see it in like omo ni, which means like mainly. ですね. So it's like the main person. Is a shujin, is the idea. Our next kanji takes a part of this shujin and pairs it with this radical that means hito. So this is our sumu, like Nihon ni sunde imasu. Tekisasu ni sunde imasu. This is sumu no su. So we'll start with the radical that means hito, 1, 2. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, shujin. の週ですね。1、2、3、4、5、6、7。Once again. 1、2、3、4、5、6、7. One last time. 1、2、3、4、5、6、7. So this is the su in sumu. Our next kanji for today, we will study this because it is a radical that is going to appear in a lot of different kanji. So the reading for this kanji is ito. Ito, which means like a thread. So this is a kanji this is a part that will appear as a part of a lot of kanji that have to do with like a fiber or a string. So we start with the hiragana ku, ichi, and then hiragana mu, ni, san, and then yon, go, doku. One more time. Ichi, ni, san, yon, go, doku. Ichi, ni, san, yon, go, doku. So we use this ito as a part of another kanji. But before we get to that kanji, I'm going to introduce the other part. This kanji is read shi. The reading is shi, and we use shi to refer to somebody's like last name. So this is a part of some different words. The one that we are going to practice right now is shime. Shime, which is your full name. So if you have to fill out your name on a form, there might be like a part that says this, shime, to let you know where to write it. So let's take a look. Ichi, ni, hook, san, yon, hook. Once again, ich, ni, san, yon. Ichi, hook, ni, hook. I misspoke. Ichi, ni, hook, san, yon, hook. So this is the shi in shime. So we know that this part here has one of the pronunciations is shi. So we take this part, the ito, and the shi part to tell us the sound, and we come up with kami, kami. This is also the gami in tegami. So it might be a little hard for us to understand how paper has to do with thread nowadays, but we have to remember that paper is like made of like fibers, right? So those fibers can come from like trees, but like they're still like kind of fibers, so kind of threads. So that is what we use to write paper. So we'll start with ichi, ni, san, yon, go, roku makes ito, and then the part that tells us the sound is ichi, ni, hook, san, yon, hook. So this second part tells us that the Chinese reading of this kanji is shi, and we can see it in words like hyoshi or washi. But the word that we are familiar with is kami. So like the kami in paper, or the gami in tegami, or origami. Let's try writing it again. We have ichi, ni, san, yon, go, roku, nana, 8、9、10、1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、 hook. 9, 10 hook. So this is the kami or the gami in tegami. Okay, so that finishes the kanji for chapter 16. Feel free to practice reading and writing the kanji. That will help you to retain them for longer.